Okay, so let's go over the screen print price grids and the embroidery price grids. So whether you are a decorator yourself or a reseller, you're going to want to enter some price grids in the system first and foremost before you start quoting. So let's go here to settings and we'll go to screen print price grids first. So as you can see here, I already have one in the system. I'll kind of show you exactly what it looks like. I have it named right here, added by myself, and the date added. I can go through, if I hit the action button, I can add pricing if, let's just say, my pricing has changed, and then hit submit to save. I can view it real quick to see, and then I can also update price right here to edit. And then I can also edit as well. So when you click on edit, you can change the grid name, you can change the amount of colors that you can print up to, along with your range of quantities. So I want to go over how to add a screen print price grid. So you click on this button over here, and let's just say you have your own separate contract price list. Let's say you're a decorator, or let's say you are a reseller and you're using a vendor's decorating grid. We'll just go ahead and use vendor print pricing, let's just say. And so let's say you or your vendor, you are able to print up to 8 colors, and then this is where you want to enter the quantity range. Now this might be a little confusing, but it'll make sense as we go along. So the way that you want to enter the range is, let's say you have a minimum of 24 pieces and you want to start at 24 pieces, right? And let's say your first quantity range is 24 to 47, and then the second quantity range starts at 48. So the number that you want to put in here is always going to be the first number of the quantity range. So you're not going to put the entire range here. You're just going to put the first number. So basically, for your minimum or your first quantity range is going to be 24, and then you just click this plus button to add the next one. So the next quantity range, let's say, is 48 to 71 pieces. So right here, you're going to enter 48. And then let's say your next quantity range is going to be 72 to 95 pieces. So you would enter 72. So basically what this shows is 24 to 47 quantity range, 48 to 71, and then let's just do 2 more. So let's say your fourth quantity range is going to be 96 to 143. So you would just put 96, and then your fifth quantity range is going to be 144 to 287, so 144. So like I said, you want to start with the first number of each quantity range, and you want to enter that in here. So let's go ahead and hit submit. So now that's going to be right here, and you can add as many price grids as you want. So if you are a reseller and you work with multiple print shops, you can name it, 123 print shop, whatever shop this name is, you can name it whatever you want, and that way when you're creating the quote, you can select which shop's pricing you want to use. So let's go here. So this is the newest price grid. We're going to go ahead and hit action, and then we're going to hit add pricing. So as you can see here, we selected the 8 colors, so that's the 8 color max, and then we have a minimum of 24. So we'll just kind of make this easy for now. So basically 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm just kind of entering in made up figures here. Oh, we'll just keep going here. It's going to be an expensive shirt, but so basically your pricing would not be this high. Your pricing would be more like $1.25, $1.40, so on and so forth. I'm just entering this in because just to save some time and show you how to do this. I'll just go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Okay, so basically you would just enter in your pricing. So if you look at it here, you would see that, okay, so for a 1 color 24 to 47 pieces is going to be $1. A 1 color 48 to 71 pieces is going to be $2, so on and so forth. So you just hit submit, and then it's going to save it as so. And then we go back to screen print price grids, and then you'll see it there. And if you want to see the pricing that you just entered, boom. And so let's say you're a shop and you upgraded the amount of colors that you can print. You can always go to edit and you can add however many colors you want to print, 8, 9, 10, 12, 20, whatever you want. So the same thing actually with embroidery, but embroidery is a little bit different. So as you can see here, sorry, the screen is so small, I'm going to have to enlarge this, but as you can see here, I have an embroidery price grid. If I scroll down, I can hit add pricing, and then I can add, view. And how I have this set up is a little bit different, being that pricing for embroidery is more based off stitch count and quantity as opposed to the colors associated with the print, how many colors you're printing. So as you can see on the left hand side, I have stitch count, a stitch count range. And for example, for this one, we have 0 to 3,000, 3,001 to 6,000, 6,001 to 10,000, so on and so forth. And then the top is going to be your quantity range. 1 to 5, 6 to 11, 12 to 35, 36 to 71. So it's a little bit different than the screen print price grid, but I'll show you. So if we go back and we go to add embroidery pricing, we'll give this a sample price grid name. You can name it whatever you want. And same concept. So you want to start with the first number in your stitch count range. So let's just say you start with 0 to 3,000 is your stitch count range. So you would just go 0, and then the number of pieces, let's say you want to start with 5, you type in 5, right? Click on the add button, click on the add button. We'll go ahead and add 2 more. So right here we'll add 3001, which will be the start of the next stitch count break, and we'll say 11, which will be the next stitch count break. And then for the third one, we'll do 6001, and then let's just say we do 21, right? So I'll hit submit, and if you click on here, and let's say you view, so now what we have is 0 to 3,000, 3,001 to 6,000, and then we have 5 to 10 pieces, and 11 to 20 pieces, so on and so forth. So you just keep adding as many stitch count stitch count range or quantity range as you want. So super easy, and you can go back in and edit, however you want right there. So super easy. And then you can just go in and add pricing, and then add your pricing right there. So that's it. So you want to go ahead and do that first before you start sending out quotes, because that way when you are creating an order, and I'll go through this with you when we get to that point as well, there's going to be a drop down box for which vendor or which decoration type or which price grid you want to use, and you can select whichever one you want from embroidery or screen printing as well. So you're going to want to make sure that you add all of your price grids here.